Welcome to the right-hand menu. You can automate your target audience engagement scenarios with our ready-to-use workflows. In this video, we're going to see how to configure SMS Gateway settings as needed by your gateway provider. This is important if you want to receive notifications, like login OTP, or even to enable OTP-based mobile verification of your target audience. More importantly, you can schedule SMS-based invites to be sent to your target audience. These invites could be campaign invites to check out your product or service, or it could be a survey invite, targeting your customers, to capture CSAT or Net Promoter Scores. We'll look at the parameters that your SMS Gateway provider's API would expect, in order to be able to send SMS messages. The first parameter is the base URL. This is the endpoint URL to reach the SMS Gateway API. The next parameter is the country dial-in code. This code is prefixed to the target audience's mobile number. For US, it's +1. For the UK, it's +44. Then, there is the country code format. Some gateways expect the dial-in code to be in a certain format. For example, the UK code of +44 may need to be prefixed to the mobile number without the plus sign. Or, it may be expected to be padded with a preceding 0, like 044. The next parameter is the REST API method. It's either a GET or a POST method. Then there are the payload parameters. This is the data that the gateway processes to execute the programs to send the SMS. The payload parameters include the recipient's mobile number, the message text, your exclusive sender ID, your SMS account details, etc. We also need to specify how these parameters are passed to the gateway API. It could be sent as query parameters, or JSON entity. If it is to be sent as a JSON entity, the gateway provider may recommend a specific format for us. We specify that format here. If there's nothing specified or recommended by the provider, we can leave this empty. Now, let's look at the SMS payload parameters in detail. These parameters are set up as name and value pairs. The most important parameter is the one that is used by the gateway provider to authorize your SMS account, thereby allowing the right-hand men to be able to call their API functions. If these parameters are not set up, or are incorrectly set up, your right-hand men account will not be authorized, and the SMS delivery will fail. There could also be a few header parameters that the API expects. For example, if the message is in a language that does not use the English language script, this may need to be specified. The last set of parameters are related to the actual SMS that we want to send. These include the sender ID, recipient number, the message text, etc. Let's look at the header parameters now. The first is the XAPI key. If your gateway provider allows authorization of your account with a pre-shared API key, we use this parameter type to set it up. Select the dropdown called Header Parameter XAPI Key from the dropdown called Type. The field called Name is auto-populated and cannot be edited. We only need to provide the API key shared by your gateway provider in the field called Value. Another way in which your gateway provider can authorize your account is through the verification of a token. This token is generated by your gateway account and would have been shared with you. Select the dropdown called Header Parameter Authorization from the dropdown called Type. The field called Name is auto-populated and cannot be edited. In the field called Value, we provide the token in the format specified or recommended by your gateway provider. We can also specify the character set that will be needed to send the SMS, if the message is in a language that uses a different set of characters than English, like say Korean or Hindi. We can set this up by selecting Header Parameter Other in the field called Type. Next, we have a dropdown called Fixed Text. This can be used to send parameters that are not part of authorization, but are necessary for the gateway API. These parameters are not going to change for each SMS we send. For example, we can specify the sender ID, or your gateway account username. It is important to mention the name of the parameter in the field called Name. Now, we get to the payload parameters that change for each SMS we send. These are the recipient's mobile number and the actual SMS content. We select the dropdown called SMS Recipient for Type, and provide the parameter name in the field called Name. The value need not be mentioned, since this will be auto-populated by the right-hand men when sending the SMS. The same applies to SMS Content as well. We select SMS Content from the Type dropdown, and provide the name of this parameter in the field called Name. The value is left empty, since this is dynamically generated by the right-hand men. Now let's see how to test the settings. In the field called Value, enter your mobile number in the SMS Recipient row, and provide the message content in the SMS Content row. Now click Test the Configurations button to get the SMS with the content you've provided. If your telecom regulator mandates that the SMS content should follow a pre-approved template, you may not receive the SMS until you get the approvals. Let's look at this in the next step. Just click the Show SMS Templates button. This will launch a page that lists all the SMS templates that are used within the right-hand menu across various scenarios. The template content is shown for your reference. Use this content to apply for the necessary approvals. For any queries, you can email support@4byoff.com. That's support@forbyof.com.